Hi again, and welcome to another Railfan Retrospective. It was the fall of 2005, I'd been in 5th grade for a few months, and my dad got word that a special train was going to be on display in West Lafayette, Indiana, close to the Purdue campus. Indiana Railroad sponsored a traveling exhibit, hosted by the Indiana Historical Society's Midwest Railroad Research Center, as it had in 2001 and 2003. Neither of which I got to see, but each year covered a different topic, and 2005's Indiana History Train presented President Lincoln's relationship with the nation's railroads. The information that was on display inside the boxcars of the History Train is now presented on the IHS site, available as downloadable PDFs. Apparently, the train continued traveling around Indiana periodically over the next several years, but currently remains on static display at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis. Looking back at 2005, the History Train was being pulled in West Lafayette by Kankakee Beaverville and Southern GP38-2, number 706, originally built as a New York Central GP40 in 1965. My dad and I spent the rest of the day over at the Amtrak station in Lafayette. My family had only been in Lafayette maybe a few times before, including a mini vacation in 2002 and a couple school band contests. Anyway, our first train at the station came along just before 2 p.m., a CSX freight with Conrail quality blue SD40-2 number 8805 leading. Somehow, I didn't notice until much later that my dad caught a GP15T still in the YN1 scheme. About 20 minutes later, an NS freight came along with solo SD60 number 6599 leading. Next up at 2:48, we were caught by surprise by this next train, which was moving much faster than the previous two had been. NS-9 number 9451 and an unknown SD70M rolled by with an intermodal train, which I suspect might have been a 20T. At 3:05, we got treated to Conrail quality blue -8 NS-8410, flying through the station with a Triple Crown road railer train. After about an hour-long wait, at 4:06, solo NS-9 number 9099 came by with another Triple Crown train. I managed to get a short video of this train with the Olympus D520, which could only shoot videos in 240p at a maximum duration of 15 seconds, and with no sound. I don't know who that is, but it wouldn't surprise me if I actually know him through some online Indiana train group. Anyway, this is about the time it started to rain. Just about 9 minutes later at 4:15, an auto train with a pair of NS-9s came flying through the station. After it rained and darkened quite a bit, at 4:34, a light power move consisting of UP SD70M number 4152 and C40-8 number 9106 crawled under the bridge. At 4:40, a pair of NS high hood Jeeps was building a tinker train. About this time, the sun came out, and my dad got some of the coolest train pictures he's ever taken, when a rainbow formed right above this train. A few minutes later, the train throttled up and rolled under the bridge. The Jeeps were both former Southern units, GP38-2's number 5244 and 5173. My dad and I waited around a while longer, and in the meantime he took these shots of the station as the sun came back out for a bit. After about an hour and a half, after the last train had left the area, and with decreasing daylight, the Jeeps from earlier returned with another train to drop off in the yard nearby. And that was it for the day. This day wasn't the greatest weather-wise, but it was definitely another really cool day for an 11-year-old rail buff. I'd never seen a KBS unit before, I got to learn some railroad history, and most trains were only 20 to 30 minutes apart from each other. Also, like that day in June the same year, there was a lot of variety of motive power. And also similarly, it's a day that, while I don't remember as many specifics as June 25th, still sticks out in my memory.